we are going to do a retrospective episode. What are the top 3 mistakes I made in my orchard? Hello, my friends, and happy Earth Day to you all. Because of Earth Day, we are doing an orchard-themed episode today. We're not planting any trees in the orchard because this month's budget didn't allow for trees. But we are going to do a retrospective episode. What are the top 3 mistakes I made in my orchard? We started planting these trees back in the fall of 2022. It is now the spring of 2025. So 2.5 years, and there are already a few things I can tell that I could have done differently and done better to result in a just more efficient orchard, which is kind of a weird thing to think about, like efficiency in nature. However, when it comes to trying to get a yield of fruits from your fruit trees at 9,500 feet, you kind of do have to think about efficiency. So let's go over the top 3 mistakes that I've made in my permaculture orchard and what I would do differently. Mistake number 1, I did not make my swales and berms on the contour line of the landscape. So I had read a lot about permaculture before we got to our land. I made sure I knew enough about swales and berms, basically the ditches and the rises in the landscape so you can manage water. I did all of that. You can see when you actually kind of look at how I had Brian dig the trenches when he did back in fall of 2022, that we're not following the contour of the landscape. You're supposed to do these, basically, if you're on a hill, you do it at level points. So when the water is coming down the hill, the swales catch them and let the water rest there and soak into the ground instead of just running off. So if you look at how we did ours, we're actually following the downhill. We're kind of on a contour, but we're not really. Though this is a mistake, there's kind of a reason for it. So it's a mistake with a caveat. Let me show you what the caveat is. The caveat for why we didn't actually do our swales and berms and our trenches with the contour of the slope is because we have this arroyo that follows the grade of our property along the road, and actually naturally comes in to our property and creates this stream. So when we have monsoons, when we have extreme snow melt off, all of it over there by the road just trickles down here, and this becomes a little bit of a babbling brook. And that heads right into the retention pond that we dug a little deeper that kind of was already here from this arroyo. And the trees are surrounding the retention pond. So again, they're taking advantage of that water that has time to sit and actually leach into the ground. So although, yes, I didn't do our swales and berms on the contour of the slope, there was kind of a reason for it. And it's that we're taking advantage of this natural water pathway that's here. Now, the retention pond is one thing I did really right. I know this is about mistakes, but that's one thing I really did right, because that baby does so well in the spring and the summer here. It's like amazing how much water sits there and just how much more lush this area of the orchard actually is. So that being said, let's go back though to the second mistake I made in the orchard. The second mistake I made is that I planted my trees on the berms of our swale and berm setup. You might be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I've read about swales and berms. You're supposed to plant your trees in the berms, and the swales are where the water collects. What are you talking about? Well, you were probably like me, and swales and berms are talked about in all kinds of permaculture literature, and the idea is that it's water management. It's supposed to slow the water. Well, here in the high desert, we do have some monsoon storms, and we do have snow melt off, but we actually need to be collecting water and keeping the water flowing to our trees a lot more than we need to be getting the water away from our trees. There's no problem of overwatering going to happen here. So, in my research after having dug all the swales and berms, I was able to find someone who had some knowledge in a high desert or desert environment, and he said he plants his trees in the swales where the water's collecting, and the berms are really there as a structure to kind of stop the water when there is runoff, which is not as often. So if I were to do this again, or if you're going to learn from me, if you're in a very arid climate, high desert, things like that, I would just plant your trees in the swales. They'd get so much water that way. Right now, the way that they are, this tree is in the berm and all the water collects there. I'm not doing myself any favors, you see what I'm saying? So don't be like me and learn from that mistake. Which brings me to mistake number 3, not remulching my trees every year. So it might be a little hard to see here because of the clouds and all the spiky things that are puncturing me while I stand here, but there is some mulch here. The first year that we planted trees, I did get mulch, a ridiculous number of bags of mulch, and I mulched each of our trees. I did not remulch the trees last year, and I didn't fertilize the trees last year. You need to fertilize your trees. I mean, they need nutrients if they're gonna bear fruit. This year, I'm hopeful to get some mulch, I'm hopeful to get some fertilizer, and then put the fertilizer, mix it into the dirt around it. I think I'm gonna do like a more solid granular type versus a liquid, and then mix that into the soil around and cover with mulch. I also have to be careful that I am making sure that my drip irrigation is getting around the base into the mulch and isn't just like, you know, falling down my berms, which, you know, brings us back to mistake number 2, where I was saying I should have planted my trees in the swales instead of the berms. So mulch is super important. If you are not aware, mulch is what's going to keep the earth from drying out and your water evaporating a lot faster, which is a huge problem here because in the summer we've got like 14, 15 hours of light, and those afternoon hours are pretty severe. I couldn't stand outside for 5 hours of direct afternoon Colorado sun, and neither can my little sapling. So I'm gonna work on that this year so I can correct my mistake from last year. Let's talk about another thing I did right as a bonus for you guys. And that is I did plant cover crops around my trees. I did not replant them last year. They were coming up, and that was white clover, or red clover, clover and alfalfa. The alfalfa has done pretty well. I'm looking to see if it comes back this year or if I need to replant it, but the alfalfa and the clover have done a really good job of making sure that when I didn't have mulch, those areas of soil underneath the cover crops actually stayed a lot more moist than those that didn't have any type of crop cover or mulch or anything like that. So that's one thing you can learn from me too when I do it right, which is get some cover crops under your trees. Anything that's going to help. Anything nitrogen fixing would be great. I'll put those suggestions on the screen here because I want to double check that what I'm going to say is correct and not tell you guys lies. But yeah, learn from my mistakes, learn from the things I have been doing right, and know that wherever you're trying to grow trees is probably easier than where I am. And if I can have trees that make it from 2022 to now, that'll be great. And hopefully in like another 2.5, 3 years, I can record another video and I will be showing you fruit from the orchard and we can talk about what I did right. But happy Earth Day, friends. Hope you got a chance to go outside and touch some grass, as the kids say. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other questions about permaculture practices or high desert gardening and orcharding, and I'm happy to answer those in some upcoming videos because it's almost time to garden outside, friends. We're not quite there yet. It's a little chilly, but we're almost there. It's coming. Brace yourselves.